Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness, where we talk about how to prepare positively for what's really coming. Are you preparing for what's really coming? Well, I guess that in order to answer that, you'd have to know what's really coming, right? Well, I want to talk about that. The short answer is who knows. Okay, a lot of things, maybe. When I wrote my first book it came out in 2017. The reversion, for those of you who have read it, and for those of you who have not, it's part of this. It's the first book of the Stonemont series. I'm the author of the Stonemont series for anybody who's new. And I wrote it because what I saw coming out in the preparedness world at the time, a lot of the post-apocalyptic fiction and that show, what was it, Doomsday Preppers, and the zombie show and everything like that. It was just consumed with fear and negativity and the idea that life was going to just fall apart, and I saw very little positivism in it. And I know that fed into people's basic need of some kind of fear. It's the same reason that people like roller coasters and haunted houses that they go to and things like this. You get a rush. Uh, but I thought that a lot of that was counterproductive. And what I didn't see was a lot of positive guidance and reinforcement in how to actually address challenges, catastrophes, whatever, and how, as I said, I think the tag on the first book, the reversion, was when something to the effect that when the death of the old world can be the birth of the next, or the death of one society can be the birth of the next, and the next being something better, something new. How do you deal with catastrophes? How do you deal with great challenges in a way that makes you come out better on the other side? And so that's why I wrote the reversion, and of course it became very successful. It sold thousands all around the world, and that led to my second book and my third, and so I'll name them for you. I don't have them here. They've got the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, hostages to fortune, and the seventh one, on wings like eagles. So it ended up in the whole, to where I examined exactly what would happen after a complete collapse of everything, and how things would be rebuilt, how they could be rebuilt. And of course, it had a lot to do with relationships. And I address a lot of things, a lot of history, a lot of politics, a lot of things. But the series itself has been just an unbelievable success. And I think that's because people want to know. They don't want to be scared all the time. Some people do, but that's destructive. They don't want to be scared all the time. They want to have a plan. They want to have an idea. Well, how can I really prepare to make my life better? And that's, of course, what you should be doing. Proper preparedness is meant to increase the quality of your life. First off, enable you to get through hard times. But then also, as we say in integrative preparedness, it should improve the quality of your life right now. Well, back then, when I first started this channel and when I first put out the first book, there were a lot of channels around that really did help. They talked about preparedness. They talked about different ways to do things. Now, I've never been the channel that shows you how to start a fire or build a lean-to or anything like that. I have done some of that, but not a lot. Mainly what I concentrate on is your mindset, what you need to understand, what you need to think about, the responsibilities you need to take in preparing for your future and the future of those who depend on you. But back then, there were a lot of good channels, I thought, that did a good job on that. As we've progressed, or should I say digressed, through the years, as I perused the too many channels, and it's the same with the news, I see that pretty much World War III is going to start again today. And by now, there's so many channels out there trying to scare you to death that it should be World War 300 by now, right? Because they've been saying it for the last year. World War is starting just tomorrow, and that's too bad, and that has gotten a lot of people, I think, off the beam, and driving the fear that results. I know there's momentary titillation there. Oh, I'm afraid. Uh, but it drives you away from making good decisions. And I just put up one just a few minutes ago on the Patreon channel about retaining your peace. Retaining your peace in life, retaining your peace mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and the importance of having that strength of peace so that you can make the right decisions. Now, what's coming now? I know that there's a lot happening in the world. I keep up with it. Well, I don't. I was going to say as much as anybody else. Probably not. It seems like some just dedicate their lives to finding anything that's horrible, and that's the world they want to live in. It's not the world I want to live in. Okay, I recognize the challenges. I recognize the dangers. The world I live in, and that you should want to live in, is in the world of addressing those positively. Okay, so that you come from a position of rational thought, of good decisions, and of strength. So that you're not going through life with this constant sense of victimhood, as if the whole world is going to come crashing down on your head and there's not a darn thing you can do about it. And if you have that sense, I hope that you'll get over it. As a matter of fact, that's what I put up over on the Patreon channel. I should welcome everybody, by the way, all you folks who have come over to the Patreon channel. It's great to have you. For those of you who haven't, we welcome you. People who have see that it is a great community. It is a positive community. It is a community of people helping each other. Very smart people over there, by the way, and helping each other and good thoughts. Very very unlike YouTube. I'll be real honest. Not that there aren't fine people on YouTube. There are. But there are also a lot of those negative. It's just dripping with negativity. Not so on our Patreon channel. So if you'd like to join us, the link's down below. Come on over. You'll learn a lot. But what is coming? Is World War III happening today? Did it start last week? Did it start a year ago? Is it going to start tomorrow? Is a nuke going to drop, as I said yesterday, in your backyard? Here's the truth of the matter. I don't know. And you don't know. And anybody who's trying to tell you that it's going to happen also doesn't know. But they are trying to scare you in order to get clicks and hits, and it's a money game. What if it bleeds, it leads. It's always been that way in entertainment, in the media. I'll tell you something kind of funny here. William Randolph Hearst was given a speech, I believe. This is the story. It might not be true. You know how stories are, but the quote, I believe, is true. The story is that he was given a talk to the journalism class at the University of Missouri J School, Journalism School, which was very, very highly thought of. I don't know if it still is, but it used to be like the journalism school. I know that surprises a lot of people. The University of Missouri, right? Yeah. Now, it could have been someplace else, and maybe somebody from Mizzou changed it to make Mizzou sound better. I don't know. But the thing is that Hearst was up there in front giving a speech, and he says, what is the purpose of newspapers? Or what is the, the purpose, that's enough. What is the purpose goal of your newspapers? And of course, one person raised their hand and said, well, it's to tell the truth. And he said, And another person says, well, it's to inform the population. And he said, and somebody else said something like that. Very, very, uh, grandiose. We're out there to inform the world and save the world and everything like this. And he said, nah. He says the purpose of newspapers is to sell advertising. That's the truth, and that's what a lot of people just don't understand. Now, the purpose, and that's why, that's where if it bleeds, it leads. They never put anything on the front page about, a cute, well, sometimes they'll put a cute puppy or something. They never put good news on the front page, because good news isn't news to anybody. Nobody wants to watch good news, right? Everybody wants to watch the horrible things that happened to somebody else, because I think that it has a tendency to make people feel better if, oh, wow, I'm sure, that's a horrible thing to read about, but it didn't happen to me. Okay. And I know they won't admit that second part, but people love reading about and listening to horrible things. Here's the problem. It doesn't help you any. And those people who just want that, the doom consumers, they're in it entirely for the entertainment and the dopamine hits. Okay, it doesn't help anybody because it's not educational. Okay, what does help is when you think about it, is when you address situations, when you recognize the reality of challenges and like I say, in our world today, is it going to be nuclear war? Is it going to be internal conflict? Is it going to be, whatever? Take your pick. I mean, there's a list of things. Economic collapse. What's going to happen? You need to be able to look at those with a clear eye, with a sense of responsibility, with a sense of understanding, and rational thought, and determine what your path should be in addressing that. Okay, so if you look at so much of the news, so many channels, one day it's the economy's collapsing, buy gold. The next thing it's the economy is booming, buy gold. I whatever. China's doing this, Russia's doing that, do whatever. Fear is the enemy of production. Fear is the enemy of success. Fear is the enemy of peace. Now, the one that I just put up, like I said, on the YouTube channel, I really wanted to detail about the importance of retaining your peace. If you are feeling dis-ease, meaning dis-ease, if you're not at ease, if you are constantly caught up in this hamster wheel of fretting and fear, you're going to be like that hamster on the wheel. You're going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning, and you're not going to go anywhere. What you need to do is prepare for what may be coming, what really is coming. And like I said, you don't know and I don't know. But we do know what it takes. And here's the answer for the person that says, and we get these occasionally on here, not that much. We get these occasionally, but you didn't tell me exactly what to do. Well, I'm about to tell you exactly what you need to do. And that is, you need to be self-sufficient. Now, what does that mean? That is daunting for many people, because what does it take to be self-sufficient? I say you need to divorce yourself completely, or as much as you can, from dependence on those external systems over which you have little or no control. Okay? Food, water, shelter, power, defense, people. Simple as that. What have you done to do that? Be honest with yourself. What have you done to do that? Now, some of you have done a lot. I know a lot of you have done a lot. Some of you have have reached that point, like I talk about in the Stonemont series. I talk about in there, it is the complete plan. It is exactly how to be totally independent. And with independence comes peace, right? That's right, because you are not dependent on somebody else who you can't count on. Excuse me. But to be honest with yourself, look at that. How self-reliant are you? How independent are you? Okay. How long can you go if everything collapsed? If in the world today, and I don't for a minute believe that there's going to be a nuke dropping into the United States, is there going to be more problems over in Russia and Ukraine? Yeah, probably. Okay, that's a given. Are there going to be more problems around the world? Yes. Are there, this idea something's coming? Yeah, something's coming. Something's always coming. But I don't think that we're going to have to worry about that. I'm going to be making one probably in a few days about bunkers and should you consider a bunker? I'll get into more detail on that. And there's other reasons to have bunkers than just an incoming nuclear attack. But if you're concentrating on that, it's focusing you too much through a very narrow fear funnel, right? And it's not allowing the rest of your creativity, imagination, efforts, mental, all that, to develop an all-inclusive preparedness. Now, some people will say, so check it off. Be honest with yourself. What do I need to do to make myself self-sufficient? And the thing is this. It's not just in case everything collapses. When you become self-sufficient, even if the world goes along merrily, and everything's just hunky-dory, your life is going to be 100 times better. 100 times better being totally sufficient, self-reliant, without worrying and without fear. Now, it takes a lot. I'll be honest, it takes a lot. And some people you'll hear say, well, it can't be done. Well, I will tell you right now, it can be done. And I know a number of people who are in that situation. I'm not going to give details about that, but they have reached that point of total self-sufficiency. And I don't mean a Jeremiah Johnson type of thing. They're not out there wandering in the woods hoping to kill a bear so that they can eat over the wintertime. Okay. No, they live wonderful, excellent lives in today's world, and they are self-sufficient. And you can be too. It depends on what you're willing to put into it. Okay. It does take, and like I said, you'll hear those people say it can't be done. Those are the people who won't put in the work. The person who won't put in the work will always tell you something can't be done because it makes them feel better. They don't want to see you succeed, because it's easier for them to complain and say something can't be done than to actually try to do it. Because actually trying to do something takes effort, energy, right? Time, money, and energy. It takes that. And, I say this often, I put this often, and that is the person who says something can't be done shouldn't interrupt the person doing it. So this is within your ability, I assume. But it's within the ability of the average person. I don't know you personally, but I would imagine if you're an average person, you can do it. It's just a matter of wanting to do it, being willing to do it, being willing to put in the effort. And kind of, somebody, we were talking, Mark and I, my buddy Mark, and I were talking about planning, because I said something about, and I said this in a video last week or sometime, have a plan and then stick with the plan. You've heard it, plan the work, work the plan. I have never really been a plan person. I've been a process person in that, and you do it whatever way you need to do it. People are different, right? You don't have to be like me. I once I see the direction I want to go, I apply everything toward that process. Is there an end goal in mind? Well, I don't know. I mean, you hit a lot of goals along the way. And I've heard that, make small goals so that you feel good when you reach each one. Well, maybe that's good. I don't know. It's not the way I do it, but maybe that's good for you. You do it your way. But be determined to do it. And if you are determined to do it and you approach preparedness in a responsible way, and by that I mean by understanding that preparedness is a responsibility. It's a responsibility to yourself and a responsibility to those who depend on you. Then you will start making the right decisions, taking the right steps toward that eventual goal, if you want to call it a goal. Well, I guess it would be this final goal of self-sufficiency. All of a sudden, you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, what you should be doing, and one day you will arrive at the point going, well, look at me. Here I am. I don't have to depend on anybody for anything. And, somebody will say, oh, it can be done. We all rely on, well, whenever somebody says that, I said, have you read my books? And they'll say, no. And I said, well, read my books. I spent a lot of time writing these books, 7 books in 7 years. There's a lot in there. If you want to buy them, by the way, the links are down below. If you want them quickly, by the way, I have to say this, order through Amazon. That link's down below. If you want them signed by me, which I love doing, because I get to write little notes in there. And matter of fact, I'm going over here in a minute and sign a whole bunch more books. I love doing that, but it takes time. I don't get them to you that quickly sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I run out all the time. People keep buying them, and then I run out, and then I have to order more, and I'm very sorry, and I feel badly that people have to wait. But if you want them from me, and I think that's great, you might have to wait. I'll get them to you as fast as I can, but I just want to let you know. Okay, but read those. They are my response to the negativity in so much of the preparedness world, and this is my response to a lot of the negativity that I see in the preparedness world right now. And your response needs to be jumping off that fear train and understanding that people are trying to scare you just to get clicks and ads and money and stuff like that, and actually do something to improve your life, to actually be prepared as opposed to just be scared. Okay. So that's, the thing is here is, are you preparing for what's really coming? Or are you just scared of what a bunch of people are telling you about World War III starting tomorrow? That choice is yours. And it going through life scared, that's you hear that siren out there. My dog's this is a good point here. It's all how you look at things. There's a siren going down in there. And I had, some time ago, I had somebody say, I just hate hearing sirens because it means somebody's in trouble. And I said, no, around here, because we live in a good area, we live in the suburbs that help can get to you in time. What a siren means to me is that, yeah, somebody's having a problem, but help is on the way. It all depends on how you look at things. And if you look at things, if you're determined to look at things through a negative lens and allow other people to focus you like that, you're going to have a negative life. You're going to have an unhappy life, and you're going to have a fearful life. But like I've said in others, we are not given the spirit of fear. 2 Timothy 1:7. We are not given a spirit of fear. Okay? No. We are given a spirit of strength, of power, of love, of hopefulness, and a responsibility to do our best to be self-sufficient so that we can, first off, help ourselves, but then help others as well. That is the call of preparedness. So you're not relying on others, you can take care of yourself, and you can help others. Again, that's what my book series is about, helping others as well. Being in a situation, it's about a family, I'll just tag this in, about a family who, as a result of their own preparedness and after the collapse of everything, was not only able to continue to live a good life, but actually help other people and rebuild a community worth living in. Okay, so it's up to you to decide what you want. Do you want a life of fear? Do you want a life of anxiety, of worry, and all that? Or do you want a life of directed energy to improve the quality of your life, the joy in your life, the happiness in your life, and the peace in your life? And that really is the goal of preparedness. So, prepare for what really could happen, is going to happen. And that is, we don't know. But we do know that preparing is going to enable us to live a better life no matter what comes. Okay? All right. I hope you all have a good day. We always say at the end that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And that really is the decision that people have to make. Do you want to live well tomorrow, or do you just want to worry today? It's up to you. You all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.